Yo, yo, what's up, Facebook world? It's your boy DJ Marcus here. This is my first YouTube video. I'm on a journey right now, doing my first instrumental album. I've been working on it for a while. Back to the things that you love and care about, and music is one of them. Video, I'm sharing the journey. I also want to give a couple of shout outs to some people that kind of inspired me to even get back in this game. It's a bunch of YouTube producers that's here on, and I just want to, share my story and record my journey as I complete this first album because I've learned so much game on YouTube. It is ridiculous. The game that's on YouTube, it should be sold, but it's ridiculous on how much game is on YouTube. Not even just for the music aspect. You want to fix something, you want to learn how to fix something around your house, or go to YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is all that, and I ain't gonna even front. It's all that, and a lot of people are taking advantage of it, and I'm right in line, right along with them because it's there for the taking, and I'm gonna take it. So see you in a bit. Bye.
DJ Marcus, you did it again.
What's going on, YouTube? Oh man, there's so much calamity in the world. There's so much calamity in the world. It's just people out here doing the most and just not really focusing on what's important out here. A lot of stuff people fighting, and it is what it is. But I just want to take this time. I want to start documenting my journey back into the music game. I'm excited about, where it's going to take me. Some people knew I used to make music back in the day, some people didn't. I've done projects back in the day, and most of my musical career comes from my DJ status. I got 30 plus years in the DJ game. Kind of known out here in the Bay Area. Me and my boys made some noise back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and people still talk about our parties to this day. Like we are like the function kings or party kings or what do you want to call them. We are still the undisputed champs with the type of following that we even had without social media. It wasn't no Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. It wasn't none of that back in the day. And we was old school hand to hand promotions, and we just built our following over the years from that, and it grew into something that was tremendous. To this day, people still talk about our parties, and it's 2021 and people still talk about our parties. But I just want to document my journey on how I got in this, how I got back into the game. This pandemic brought the best and the worst out of folks. While I was stuck in the house for a while before I went back to work, I'm an essential worker, so they got me back out here working. It's all good, but when it was shut down, when they made everybody stay home, nothing to really do at home but to kick back, eat, and watch TV. So, as I'm watching TV, I was already kind of into YouTube, but I didn't, wasn't on it all like that. But since this pandemic, I've like turned into YouTube junkie. And, I came across this one producer, well known producer out there. His name is Bolo Da Producer. Um, it, I came across one of his videos was talking about this little software that's made for iPad only. So, and it was called Beatmaker 3. So I'm watching the videos. It piqued my interest because I was like, oh, that's kind of tight. Somebody done created an app, and for the price that it's worth, I feel like it's worth a whole lot more money. Sometimes you can charge the small price and make a bigger profit. And a lot of people don't understand that. They looking at the long term, because for $25 you cannot beat what that app does. It's called Beatmaker 3. And so I downloaded it to my iPad and I started playing around with it, and I couldn't believe the functions and features that it had. I was like, this is crazy. So, I was following more of his tutorial videos on how to navigate around the app, and what I'm saying, so I started playing around for a while, and I'm like, man, I might mess around and just doing this music again. I played around with it, and I was like, man, I really want to get back into doing music. So it's a trip, with the algorithms in YouTube because even though I was, just my focus was on Bolo's page, I start seeing like a whole slew of other YouTube producers, as they like to call them, the YouTube producers, like a lot of the well-known producers. I start coming across people like Curtis King and Ocean and Valentina. She's so talented. I love her. She is so talented. Who else? Where my little list at? Hold on, because I had to write some of this stuff down. I watched Dorian Group 82. He a funny dude. Dorian keeps it 100 all the way. I love that dude. You wild boy. You wild with it. But I respect your intellect and your knowledge in the game because you done been there, done that. And so, and it just even I even came across this young producer out of I think he out of Atlanta. His name is L. Dre. Young cat, very talented. I started watching a lot of his stuff. I didn't chat it back and forth with him just a little bit on YouTube under the comments and just telling him that you kind of you inspired me to get back into this game. Let alone some of the other producers I watch, because I watch Curtis and he doing his thing. Like Curtis been in the game for a long time. That dude is raw. I get props when props is due. And then from watching him, I came across this other dude named Oh Gosh. And Oh Gosh is like bananas. That dude is so talented. And they down in Southern California. I'm up here in Northern Cali. I know you see the Oakland hat. I represent my town to the fullest, born and raised. Also, I want to shout out my boy Mr. Fab with the dope air. I got my O's. This was made I think like 2 years ago. I think this project was made like 2 years ago, but this kind of goes under the Wakanda, except it says Okanda, Oakland kinda, even though it was filmed in Oakland, because Oakland is just, all that. Don't get it twisted. Anyway, um, I wanted to, shout out some of the producers that they don't know me personally, but I follow them and they've really inspired me to really get back in this game. Want to do is just kind of like record my journey as I get back into making this album. Because last time I was doing music, I did a little couple of projects here and there and did some stuff like that, but the game has like changed so tremendously since when I had my studio, '05, '06. Been some years since I been doing music again. The game is it's changed so much. Like you don't even need a whole lot as far as like if you really want to make music. A lot of the old heads don't agree with the computer stuff. I get it coming from the DJ era when I started in '86 where it wasn't no computer, it was just straight vinyl. And then, they came out with CDJs and you a DJ now because you got a laptop and you have access to this and that. But I came from the gut when it was just, realistic mixer and two turntables that didn't match with a tape deck and still rock the party. That was in the 80s and early 90s. 94 is when I got my first set of Maybach turntables, aka Technique 1200s. My mama blessed me with a pair of those, and my DJ career just took off from there. I've done a whole lot, met a whole lot of people, and did shows with just about every artist in the Bay Area. Back when we was throwing our parties, we used to have people perform sometimes. So we worked with a lot of the artists from back in the 90s, early 2000s, and done shows and parties and man, we did a whole lot and then some. People that know me know my history. They know where I came from and what we did over the years because people still talk about it to this day. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to record my journey. I'm working on my album. I'm gonna be sharing more videos. Um, just kind of giving you tidbits of my production and some of the stuff that I'm working on, and some of the stuff that you know I want to give you everything because I'm not gonna give you everything, and I want some of the stuff to be a surprise when I drop it because I want everybody to support me like I support them because I support people and I always looking for people to support me back, and I got a lot of love out there, so I know people will mess with me, but your boy then got back into the game and doing this music, and with all this technology and different platforms now, it's easy. It's a lot more easier to get your music out there to the masses. Like take advantage of this pandemic. I mean, excuse me, pandemic. You have to take advantage of social media and YouTube and all, especially YouTube. Like it is so much free game on YouTube. It's ridiculous. You know, I've learned how to, once I kind of got back into it, because back in the day when I was recording music, I used to use Cakewalk Sonar. I know Cakewalk Sonar like the back of my hand, but Cakewalk then kind of fell off over the years. Some people still use it, but it ain't the same no more. So I wanted to learn new programs. When I first started, I had, my old Mac, so I was using Logic for a while. Logic is cool. It seems like Logic is a little more technical. I know it's like a standard, almost kind of like Pro Tools. Like everybody use Pro Tools. A lot of people use Logic, but but man, Fruity Loops has come a long. Oh my God, Fruity Loops has come a long way from back in the day to now. Like I used to mess with it back in the day, but because I'm more of a hands-on producer. I like hitting buttons and all of that stuff. I like to, be active right along with the music as I'm making it. And so I wasn't really. I was using Fruity Loops, but I wasn't really tripping off her like that because I was mostly making my stuff off, my drum machine and keyboard. I think what I had an NV 8000 uh, drum machine, and I had a Yamaha Motif. And I had a couple of rack mounts. Man, you don't even need rack mounts no more with all these damn plugins that they got. But back then I had rack mounts of sound modules for to get all my my other music like Planet Fat and all the MU stuff back in the day, and Cord Triton had a rack mount too. So those were mostly a lot of the popular rack mounts people were using back in the day. And the Triton is like a godfather of the rap game because so many people used to use that Triton to make beats back in the day. And I don't even need to talk about the MPC because MPC been around for forever, since the MPC 60 and the Lindrum, back in the day. And a lot of people still use MPCs. I never bought a MPC. My first drum machine was the Roland NV 8000, and so yeah, that's about it. So now I done got back in the game, but going back to what I was saying, it's so much, from me going to FL Studio to, I mean, excuse me, going from Logic to FL Studio, when I was talking about so much game on YouTube, I learned how to get around and learn a lot of the functions. I'm still learning stuff, but the core basics down, I got down because it's, all these recording programs are similar. Their functionalities and their language is different. But I find myself being a lot more creative in FL Studio. It's easy to navigate around. I learned a lot on FL. I've learned a lot on YouTube, and it's so many people that share their knowledge and wealth on YouTube on just about everything. And when I first got back in the game, I was using Logic first, so I got on YouTube and just like learning, watching people's tutorials on how to navigate around Logic because I never used it before prior to Cakewalk. And Logic is cool, and I started watching videos from like Curtis King and some of the other people that's on FL Studios. And so I downloaded just the free version, and I was like, at first I downloaded the free version, and I was like, I was like, man, FL has come a long way. It's nowhere what it was back in the day. It's they have advanced a lot, and I see why a lot of producers use FL Studios because it's the bomb.com. It's it. You know, I just feel more creative when I started using FL. I just felt more creative. For some reason, I can navigate around FL faster than I can Logic. Logic got too many roadblocks, and uh, so I was like, you know what? I need to go where I can just. I don't need nothing blocking my creative thoughts. I need to, especially when I'm doing music. You got a thought in your head. You want to be able to transform that thought on the computer and with your hands and stuff like that, and not feel like you restricted and you got to do this and do that to get. I don't want to do all that. So, um, you know, I just want to just share my journey, and as I go along, I'm excited to see where this gonna take me. Um, I got to put myself out there. If I put myself out there, people don't know what I do. You could tell people, but people get amnesia. So the only way that you can keep people on, keep yourself on people's mind is keep throwing yourself in their face. Just boom, boom. And everybody got their phones like this to their face now. So you posting videos, they gonna see it one way or another. And as long as I'm doing my part and sharing it with the world, they gonna see it. So um, I want to. This is my first video, so I just kind of want to just throw myself out there. But I will be sharing videos of just giving snippets of some of the music that I'm working on because I want to get some feedback. I want to hear what people think about my music. And one of the things I learned from Curtis King is just like don't be afraid to comments of what people think because he was like somebody gonna like it. Everybody not might like it, but he was like somebody gonna like it. And me being on YouTube a lot, I've learned that it's a lot of trollers that's just asses on YouTube. Gotta make negative comments or they have to dislike everything. And I was like, how can you dislike this? Like, what is wrong with you? But I was like, whatever. People go. I'm gonna be like Bolo. You can give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. It really don't matter. It really don't matter because I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do. Period. Point blank. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Can't nobody stop me but me. So anyway, this is my first video, and I'm gonna be sharing my stuff. So that's pretty much it. Want to salute everybody out. Stay tuned. Peace.
DJ Marcus, you did it again.